My name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic. Today I'm viewing Fragrance 1 Day for Women. This is a 159 euros for 50ml. Day for Women is filled with, which is a fruity, floral, apricot smelling note. We got benzoin, which is a sweet, seductive note. We got jasmine, which gives a very feminine approach. Eau de Parfum, no budget limitation for our master perfumers. Shipping price £179 pre-order for a limited time. We got jasmine. So I bought this because there was no 10ml on the site. It's almost impossible to get hold of, so you have to get this. Very curious to see what this fragrance range thinks women should smell like in the day. Do we have our full size £159 bottle of fragrance? Are we engaged with the higher self? Let's get testing. So £159, and I never talk about packaging ever, but I've just been through a massive rebrand and really tried to do the maximum I can for the amount of money, and the process is really long and laborious. So now I'm really obsessed with packaging, and I understand it, but the packaging should match what's inside. £179, that's like up where my top end ouds are. So I'm expecting something of that quality. When you go above that price, you really have to be doing something extraordinary, wonderful. It's sort of like, I consider the Parfum de Marly really fabulous. Some Tom Fords are really fabulous. My ouds I love very much, and they're all sort of about 170, and they all got the really expensive raw materials in. So I'm sort of expecting really classic, beautiful perfumery. I'm expecting 20 to 30% naturals. I'm expecting some really expensive aroma chemicals in there, and I'm expecting something for nice packaging, because this brand's got money behind it. So when you've got money behind it, you get good packaging. So I've never seen inside this, I've never seen the packaging, and yes. So this is 73% volume. This is a concentrate. Straight off, part of my history is I'm a cosmetic safety assessor, and I'm obsessed as a chemist about labelling, clean labelling that has to be precise. And in Europe, things have to be correct. And on the front, it should always say alcohol denate or denate alcohol. There is the inky way, but this just says alcohol. And then the ethoxymethyl is a sunscreen, which only goes in about 1%, and then it's got a few things underneath. BHG sunscreen. It just smells a little bit underwhelming for £170, but there you go. So what did he say? No budget limitation for perfumers. And you're expecting something for this price to be packed full of naturals, as I said. This is so sweet. This smells like little girls. This is masses of ethyl maltol combined with sweet orange to give that real sweetness to it. This is so sweet. This is just really classic. Built Ice Super, Galaxolide, Hedione, Vanillin. Oh, so sweet. This has some pear musk top notes to give elevation. So this, from a technical point of view, is elevating, really beautiful, and because of the way it's built, it's going to last on the skin. But it is almost entirely aroma chemicals to this. I would say maybe between 1 and 2% naturals. It's got some heliotrope-like chemicals, aroma chemicals in it, which give it a slight almondy feel. So this, if I'm going to summarise it, is sweet orange, backbone of really classic how to put together perfume, very sweet vanillin, ethyl maltol, slightly almondy, floral, fruity. On to my final thoughts. This is £179 for 50ml, which sets itself up very high. If I didn't know the price, I'd sort of think it was £40–50 maximum. It's got some nice musk, as it's drying down, it's actually getting a little bit nicer. It's got some musks in which are human-like musks. So I can explain it. So it is almost like the musk to give a human feel. It's very, very sweet. But it doesn't feel like it's blasted full of chemicals. But again, this is absolutely built for cost. I would love a little black collar and a different sort of cap, to be honest with you. It has some ozonic notes in it to give it a sort of ozonic feel to it. I think this is really well done. Technically, I think it's really good. So technically, it's quite simple and quite good at the same time. So I'm going to mark this a 4 out of 4 because I think the perfume did a really good job. And I think this again was done to a brief. So I think the client went to the perfumer and said, build me something for cost and build me something. This to me, I wouldn't be surprised, is a dupe of something else. This smells really, really safe. It smells really 80s actually. There was like an 80s vibe to this, 80s, 90s vibe to this. It doesn't feel very modern and up to date, but I think the perfumer would have hit the brief dead on. But again, I think it would have been, I want this, and I think it would have been building that and absolutely no room for maneuver at all. Massively overpriced, 3 times too high for this. I think £50 maximum. So I get 0 out of 2 for that. Do I like it? I think it's okay. I personally like my women badass bitches who are not little girls, and this smells like a little girl's fragrance. I think if you had an 8-year-old little girl, I think this is beautiful for that, and this is what little girls smell like to me. This does not smell like a woman, but it's very, very inoffensive. It is a really inoffensive, safe formulation. How do I improve upon it? I'd base it out massively, add in more naturals as well. I would have added in 20% naturals, patchouli, sandalwoods, tinctures, rose, jasmine. I would have added these things in and made it luxury for £175, £108. I want luxury, I want rose, I want absolutes, I want exquisite raw materials, and this to me feels, it's just not exquisite, it's not reaching the heights. I think if this was £50, this smells like something I've smelled before and I can't figure it out. I've smelled this somewhere. It's okay. I'm gonna mark this a 5 out of 10. I personally think that it needs massive amounts for this price. It needs a massive amount of naturals really, really pushed into it. Jasmine, rose, patchouli, sandalwood would have been phenomenal. I really think if the client would have gone to the perfumer and said, build me something with a much, much higher value, I want to do something really good, I really think you could have had something really classic and gorgeous. But the fact that this is all aroma chemicals, I think is, for me, lackluster, boring, dated, for little girls. As I said, I might send these to my nieces actually. I think if this was for little girls, I think it's fantastic, but for women, I think women deserve a little bit more, to be honest with you. So there we go. So if you love that review, thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating, interesting comment, dancing hands, and lots and lots of reviews. See you soon.